It's R&R in the morning, a road edition coming to you live from Army Navy in beautiful downtown Philadelphia. He is Rudy J. I am Rob Thompson. Let's get to the matter at hand. Let's welcome on the show head coach Mike McCarthy of your Dallas Cowboys. Morning, Coach. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Rob. How's everything?
We're good, Coach.
We're sitting in your neck of the woods. We're up in Philadelphia, Coach, for Army Navy, getting ready for the game tomorrow.
Oh, really? Rudy J, what do you think of Philadelphia?
Man, you know what? This is my first time here, Coach, so I'm looking forward to exploring the great city of Philadelphia. I know, how far are you from Philadelphia? Where are you from?
Completely on the other side of the state.
Okay, that's what Rob was telling me.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is in the southwestern corner, and obviously Philadelphia's over there.
Is there, like in Texas, the rivalry between Houston and Dallas? Is that same thing going on up here?
Oh, definitely. I mean, yeah, when you grow up in Pittsburgh, you don't like Philadelphia or Cleveland. That's for sure.
You grow up in Texas, you feel the same way. Yeah. Coach McCarthy joining us here on the Sports Star. Well, Coach, it's been an interesting week for you. It seemed to kind of ratchet up with OBJ, and then that kind of died down, and now it's game time. Tell us about your week, and tell us about the passing of the torch, this video we've been told about.
Passing of the torch.
Dak was talking yesterday about a video. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. You go back to the 1992 Olympics, the Dream Team, and it's just a phenomenal clip with Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson just talking about, how probably the toughest game that they played over there was the, kind of an inter-squad scrimmage that they had, and just to hear them to go through it, and really, obviously, the message is just to keep our, internal competition as high as possible. I mean, you practice, a little safer, I would say, when you get, especially at this point in the season. But, we have such a competitive group. I just want to really keep staying tied to that. So, yeah, it's a video we've all seen before, but it never gets old. That's for sure. It's awesome.
Coach, how do you because the other thing Dak talked about was not eating the cheese. How do you balance, like, hey, you know what, we want to remain confident, but at the same time, like, let's not eat the cheese. Let's not say, hey, when you look at, because where we're sitting, Colts, Texans, Jags, we sit around and we say, oh, that's 3 wins. How do you balance that? Like, hey, not listen to the outside noise, but also remaining confident.
Well, excuse me. The reality of it is, it's really, I think, the biggest challenge in life and in football, and it's handling success. And it's a primary building block, primary focus since day one. As far as football culture, and you know how it is. I mean, it wasn't long ago we were sitting here talking about being an underdog. So, and I think it's all of us at some point in our lives have been in underdog situations, and there's a reason why we've all made it to this level. So, I mean, that's part of our core, but the hardest part is handling success, and that's always the case. And that's why when you're showing "Don't Take the Cheese" video, that means you've won a lot, or there's a lot of positive things around you. So it's just really staying focused, because the Houston Texans, they got some really good players, just like you see every week, and guys are playing for different things at this time of year. But there's always motivation on Sundays to go win. I mean, that's the way this league is built, and it's always been that. And if you just take your foot off the gas, I mean, you're putting yourself in a position to not get it done.
Head coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star, always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Well, after the injuries have taken their toll, we're going to see a little bit more of Kelvin Joseph. He gets an opportunity to prove himself. How ready is he, Coach? And tell us about his status and altitude as we get ready for Sunday.
I mean, Kelvin's ready. This is his second year, so the understanding of what he needs to do schematically is definitely something he's ready for. But it's just it's being ready for the challenge. He's playing opposite of Trayvon Diggs. I mean, that's his reality, and that's our reality, and for the way we play. So he's going to have opportunities, and I do feel like he's ready to go.
Joined by head coach of Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Coach, I guess with this whole Odell Beckham thing, are you just not over it down? I know you want Odell. You've said it 1,000 times, so there's no need to keep asking you. But how do you not, just shun him away, but say, hey, I got to worry about the guys in my locker room. We got a game to play.
Well, I mean, I think that's what you have to do as a head coach. I mean, that's that's my responsibility. We're all responsible, to prepare to win. And that trust me, that never. There's nothing that gets in the way of
Okay.
that, especially this time of year. But I think with anything, the Odell Beckham opportunity is different. I mean, I've never been part of an opportunity like this late in the year. So, I just think like anything, you really still have to stick to your evaluation process. I mean, I think that's why we have process, procedure, structure, formulas for success, and and that's what we're doing. I mean, there's always, three different variables to these situations. You got the medical, the financial, and the football, and and those things need to align, and also they have to align for the other side to make a deal. So that's the reality of what we go through every time we're in a free agent situation, and that's kind of what we're going through right now.
Whether we're talking to you about it or not. He has Coach Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as OBJ passes through and the stories continue, you did activate James Washington, got a chance to see him coming on the 21 day. And also Tyron set foot on the practice field for the first time in a bit. Tell us about their status.
James is doing well. I thought he did some really good things yesterday in practice. Get some opportunities. So this is really our first chance to see him, live now in the practice environment. So he's making progress towards being ready to go. And Tyron had some really good work yesterday. So Tyron looks really good. So we just want to get him back into the football fundamentals and get him sharpened up.
Coach, we heard Dak talk about having Tyron back in practice and just the effect of having that legend out there and the grunts and all of that kind of stuff. How does the team take that? Did you feel a little bit more pepper in practice with Tyron walking on the field, or was it just another day at work with welcome back to what seemed very normal?
Oh, I think it really goes back to really Wednesday's practice. So I mean that's where you could definitely see the juice, particularly in the individual stuff. But yeah, I mean Thursday practice is our toughest practice. It's the biggest volume of the week. So we had a good day yesterday, and I think guys were just really focusing in on what we need to do to beat the Texans.
What are you seeing on film, Coach, that as far as Davis Mills goes? I know they were rolling with Kyle Allen for a while. Speaking of the Texans, now they go back to Davis Mills. What are some things that you've seen on film that Davis Mills does well?
Well, I think he does, all the things you look for. I mean, I always look for, quarterbacks, and do they play under center, the first and second down, how the run actions, fit the action passing game, and, just the little wrinkles and because off of that, when you break down the action passing game, you can also get a feel for how they're going to utilize him, action in the pocket, action outside the pocket. So he has all that. He's a good gun player. Plays with instincts. I always felt coming out of Stanford, I liked his throwing mechanics and everything. So I think he's a good young quarterback. I mean, I thought he obviously played fast and early in his career, and with that comes some tough experiences. It doesn't matter who you are. I mean, every quarterback goes through it. But I think the young man's put some good tape on. I mean, we've been impressed with him.
I hate to rewind, Coach, but have you talked about never being a part of something like this, OBJ? Have you ever been a part of a fourth quarter like what you did to the Colts this past Sunday night?
Well, fortunately, I've been part of some big games over 50 points, and I think when you get into that realm, there's always usually a wave, somewhere in the game that just kind of overcomes the opponent. So, but I mean you talk about finish. You want to we're always working to finish a game. I don't know if I've ever seen a finish like that though, for sure.
My gosh, I'm not sure anybody had. Was it 33 in the
it was
NFL record?
It was an NFL record, so nobody's seen it.
Hey, Coach, as long as we're talking about other quarterbacks, last night watching Baker Mayfield unpack on the sidelines and go play a football game. Tell us about the transition for a quarterback. What's it like to step into another team with no nomenclature or anything like that and go lead them on a Thursday night primetime kind of game?
I mean, what can you say, man? I mean, look, Lake Travis Cavalier, Baker. I mean, I was so, when I got home, I got to see the 2-minute drill. Was really the only part I saw of the game, but just to listen, I sat there and listened to the interviews afterwards, and just how excited everybody was for him too, and what he accomplished. So he's obviously been going down a tough road. So you always like to see people that handle situations the right way, have success. So I was very happy for Baker.
Coach, do you ever pull Micah Parsons aside and say, hey man, you don't have to tweet all day long?
Well, that's, I think, Rudy, you just got to be in touch with the reality of our generation.
Where we are. Yes.
I have teenage kids. I mean, social media is their platform to have conversations and do things like that. So, when you and I were young, I mean, I was only allowed to be on the phone on a Friday for 3 minutes. So that was my level of communication with hopefully the gal that you were trying to talk to. But I mean, this is a different era.
Yes, it is.
Our young people, that's their communication, playground, and just like anything, it's there's lessons to be learned in all those experiences.
When you have a player like that do you counsel them, or is it just something like, man, that was dumb? I mean, how do you handle the situation as their coach?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing conversation. It's not it's not like, oh, here's the pink slip, come to the principal's office. I think that unfortunately you do have those times too, but these are conversations that you're having all the time. I mean, it's all part of handling success. Don't take the cheese, and not that falls in that category, but take the cheese. But I just think that this is the navigation of an NFL season. Especially the holidays are a challenge for everybody. I mean, hey, everybody's going to participate in the Christmas spirit. I mean, that's the American way. So, I just think, you're always talking about the things, around the reason why we're here. We're here to prepare to win. So, yes, I mean, I just think it's another day in the neighborhood.
Another day in the neighborhood, as you are on your December closing schedule. Do you feel it out? Your players get the benefit of a little bit less time on campus, but are you feeling a little bit more refreshed this week?
Well, I'm gonna laugh.
No.
I was here at 6:15 getting ready for the radio show. I forgot that we moved it back to 7. So, but I'm pretty much on the same schedule, so I'll get some sleep tonight.
Well, hey, Coach, congratulations on a nice little run there. Let's not move the cheese. Good luck on Saturday, as always. We bid you good health, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Take care.
Coach.
Head coach Mike McCarthy of your Dallas Cowboys right here on San Antonio Sports Star for his standard walk around.